Eduardo Tobias here outside of the Culture Cup, a small restaurant that serves many teas, coffees, and different types of chocolates. Let's go speak to the owners, Phil and Kyle, to see what it takes to put a little culture in your cup. Hey guys, I'm here with Phil and Kyle, owners of the Culture Cup. So, just kind of wondering, what kind of sparked the idea of the Culture Cup?
The Culture Cup is all about chocolate, tea, and coffee. And we have had our shop for 16 years, and we felt that we bought an existing coffee business, and we saw that there wasn't really any good tea in Dallas. So we went to Europe and we found a wonderful tea. We imported it back to Dallas, and then we decided we needed one more product, so we added chocolate. So we have chocolate, tea, and coffee.
So, where do you guys get your products from?
We get our teas really from all over the world. Our teas are from China. They're from Japan, Sri Lanka, Japan, and we buy our teas also from a very well-known and old tea company in France called Mariage Frères. And we're the largest distributor of that particular tea, which is very highly sought after around the world. We're the largest purveyor of their teas in the United States.
So, what are your favorite teas and coffees that you have here?
One of my favorite teas is called matcha, and matcha is it's a powdered green tea, and it's consumed very differently than any other tea. What I love about matcha is its health benefits. It has higher antioxidants than any other tea in the world, and a lot of people are using matcha now as like what people would use a Red Bull for.
I think that from a coffee point of view, one of my favorites would be the Lagunitas Viennese. It's a Viennese roast, slightly darker roast, and the Lagunitas is a Costa Rican estate coffee that has a very wonderful history to it, and very, very special.
Now I'm going to make you a bowl of matcha, and the best way to do that is in a traditional Japanese tea bowl. First thing that I do is I take this is a scoop, Japanese whisk scoop, and I put a little bit of the matcha in the bowl. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add between 2 and 3 ounces of water, just a little bit of water. Okay, and then I take a Japanese bamboo whisk, which is divided into several hundred tines, and this will move the matcha into the water. And what I'm going to do is I form kind of a W or an M, depending on how you're looking at it, and I'm moving the whisk back and forth in the tea bowl. And my goal is to create a foam. And the foam means that I have all of the matcha dissolved into the liquid. And then what you do is you drink it. And in Japan, you would typically drink this with a sweet. You would take a bite of a sweet, and then you would take a sip of the matcha, and then you would repeat the same thing again. Drinking this will give you 3 to 6 hours of a sustained, calm energy. And there's a component in this, it's an amino acid, it's called L-theanine, and it actually helps the mind, it gives the mind clarity. So unlike coffee, which can really hype you up, tea gives you energy, but it also relaxes you. So have a cup of matcha on us. Thank you.
All right, Phil, so do you mind telling us what makes a really good cup of coffee?
Well, the primary thing for a good cup of coffee, obviously, is the coffee itself, how it's ground, and believe it or not, the water that it's used, because water is about 98% of a cup of coffee. So if you use water that has a lot of chlorine to it, you're going to taste the chlorine, not the coffee. So brewing, the brewing method, the grind, the freshness of the coffee, and obviously the water all play an important role in the coffee.
I noticed that you have a lot of cups and mugs here in the store. Tell us a little bit about where you got these from.
Well, tea and coffee it's not just about the product, it's the way that you serve it too. And what we try to do with the Culture Cup is we have many things here that are unusual and that reflect different tea or coffee or chocolate traditions around the world. So, for example, we'll have espresso cups, or we will have a particular cup that would be good for making, a Japanese tea or something like that. And then we'll teach our customers how to use those. So it's not just the product we're selling; we're also selling the things that surround that product or complement that product.
So I noticed that you guys have drinking chocolate. So can you tell us a little bit about what drinking chocolate actually is?
Drinking chocolate is really like taking the most delicious chocolate truffle, melting it, and putting it in a cup, and then drinking it. And it is sinful, it is rich, it is dark, and people really enjoy it. And it's really very much like having a dark chocolate. It's different than cocoa, it's much richer, much more dense. And if people really like dark chocolate, they will love drinking chocolate. Phil, do you have anything to add?
Yeah,
to
drinking
that?
chocolate generally doesn't. It has less less milk solids to it, less sugar. Very thick, typically very thick, and it's a very popular drink in Europe. In the United States, we're more accustomed to cocoa rather than drinking chocolate, and that would be the closest cousin to it in the United States.
Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and indulge in this delicious drinking chocolate.